The same way you have to do whatever you have to do it right. Jumping into the footballing world right now, or the football world. I don't know why I keep saying footballing world. Is that correct? Anyways, you need to correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But footballing world, I'm going to insist on that till I get that correction. Just jumping straight to the footballing world, we add the Champions League. It's the Champions League series. It is the Champions League series. We're moving away from the basketball series right now. The Champions League series, and it's overwhelming, if you ask me, for so many faithful lovers of football, especially Liverpool fans. The numero uno of that being my elder brother, the Muchi, and of course I have a friend that, and of course Olayika is a Liverpool fan as well. They were expecting something big for themselves. We had an IG live section on Saturday before the match, and there were discussion as to what should happen, what should not happen, where the game could be lost, where the game could be won, what each coach should do. But today, as I'm alone right now, I'm going to be analyzing a couple of salient points that I have to put out there, and I'm going to pick them one after the other. I think I have like 6 of them. 6 salient points for me, where the game was lost and where the game was won, as a matter of fact, or what should have been done properly, what shouldn't have been done, and what not. And I'm going to start to, where did Jurgen Klopp mess up? It's everybody that knows me understand the fact that I rank Jurgen Klopp slightly above Pep Guardiola, because I think he does not overthink things. It's pretty straightforward. It is approach, the game pressing, pressing from the midfield, unlike Guardiola that presses from the front. You know, so there's a slight difference, but I just feel it's a little bit, maybe not more tactical than Guardiola, but he is better in terms of how he approaches game. But in this particular situation, I think Klopp actually messed up in a couple of things, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the reasons why I'm saying this. And I stand to be corrected, anyways. First, his lineup was good. So people said he shouldn't have started with Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz should have come in at 75th minute or they're about to wear them down. But I don't agree to that. I feel you should put your best foot forward in matches like this. But the first issue I had with him was the fact that Luis Diaz was removed in the 64th minute. This is a rookie mistake I would expect from someone like maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Mikel Arteta, and the rest of them. You know, I wasn't expecting Klopp to come up with that kind of strange decision. And the reason being that removing Diaz looks like the only player running at consistently. Let me put it out that way and call that word consistently against the Liverpool, the Real Madrid defense. Salah is trying to be sneaky. Mane looks, I don't know, Mane is playing like Mane, but with a little bit of icky on Mane's side. And Luis Diaz looks to be the most potent threat, approaching them, playing against them, running at them and the rest. And it was removed in the 64 minutes. For who? That was the question. That was the golden question. For who? It was removed for Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota has been fantastic this season. Don't get me wrong. But Diogo Jota is not going to run at defense the way Luis Diaz will. He can get to the goals, moving to the middle with all those headers and the rest. But what were you expecting from Mane in that instance? And you left a crop of 3 players in the middle of the pack. Anderson, that I don't understand his role on the night. Thiago Alcantara, that for all his good work, looks more injured than fit. And of course, Fabinho, who is a terrific, if not the best defensive midfielder in the whole world right now, with Rodri right now. So Fabinho could have stayed on. And Lassie was not putting so much, was not giving us so much in that particular game. So why was Anderson left on the field? You were one man, we were one goal down. You were looking for the goals. You have 5 substitutions in the club. You know what I'm saying? And if Jurgen has actually removed probably Anderson from the match, or not to fit Thiago Alcantara, Madrid had just one thing they were doing. One thing. Play through Vini, and of course play through Karim Benzema. And we're looking at it, and it was very, very, very obvious what the game plan was. So that was where I think Jurgen actually messed up, and that was a big time messed up on the part of Jurgen Klopp, and that showed. And the second thing why I think Jurgen got it all wrong is the fact that Jurgen could not have an in-game plan, in-game management. Forget about the game management, even pre-game management. I don't see any pre-game management. I've watched this Real Madrid team in the course of the Champions League, and we see them doing the same thing over and over again. Play Valverde on the right-hand side to block the marauding wing backs of the opposition, basically, and keep Mendy to do the dirty work for Vini Jr. Those 3 guys in the middle of the park, Modric, Casemiro, and Cruz, for all their good works, we all know that those legs are tired. But maybe Casemiro was a little bit younger in contest, quote and unquote. But it was obvious that those legs were a little bit tired compared to what we have at Liverpool. There was no arrangement on the part of Klopp. He just went to the battlefield like, okay, we're good. Let's go do our thing. We're going to win. It does not work in football that way. Everybody that watched the match will tell you the game was conservative. Even the players felt the pressure. So you needed a plan for the Real Madrid. You are playing against probably the best tactician after Gusindik I've ever seen in my life after Gusindik. So if you are not going to plan against that kind of person, then you're bound to fail. And that's exactly what happened. And talking about Carlos Ancelotti's tactics, I knew what he was going to do. Like I said before, Valverde to the right, your 3 guys in the middle of the park, Vini and Benzema are going to be the real attacking threat against Okonate and VVD. The supposed weak link in the back line of Liverpool, Arnold, weak link, and this is quotes and unquote, weak link, quote and unquote, because I don't really see him as a weak link, but maybe his defensive part is not as good as you would expect of someone like Kyle Walker or your conventional right backs, but he is good bombarding forward. So you can't take that away from me. It's good. He can give you the good crosses, the good shots, plays free kicks and the rest. But Carlo wanted to take the option, the opportunity, and he placed Vini against him, which is a very good matchup, if you ask me. Vini is fast, Arnold is fast. But Arnold creates the game. He creates chances. Arnold and Robertson creates the chances for Liverpool. Without them, the chances of Liverpool actually creating chances were lower. Without those 2 guys, Robertson and Arnold. Robertson would not be able to go forward because Valverde is going to be on him each time. Cesar Arnold would not be able to come forward much because he has Vini that plays inward. He plays inward once Real Madrid gets the ball. So it was a tricky situation for Jurgen Klopp. And that was the tactics of Ancelotti. And it worked 100%. You see Valverde getting the assist. And who scored? Vini. It wasn't even Benzema that was in the middle of the front 3. It was Vini, because Arnold was not exactly where he was supposed to be at that particular point in time. So that was Carlos tactics. And if the goal has not come in, Carlo would have been bring in Rodrigo and probably Asensio with Camavinga. But in that situation, it was leading 1-0. Game was running down. The clock was winding down. So it brought out Ceballos, who I think is not focused. I'm sorry to say that. I actually played for Arsenal for like 2 seasons, so I know him a little bit. And of course, Eduardo Camavinga, who would be able to stop plays. And they did it well, and they sealed it. And people keep saying it was a great one for Carlo Ancelotti. And I'm saying he kept it simple. He know what he had to do. He kept it simple. He didn't overthink it. And he managed to, with his first approach, with his pre-game plan, he managed to curtail whatever attacking options that Liverpool had against him. And he did it quite effectively well, which is something we did not see on the part of Jurgen Klopp. And that was my first point when criticizing Jurgen for not doing particularly well for the pre-game tactics, in-game management as well. And of course, another thing that I put down is the fact that Benzema, Vinicius Junior, the combination. We've seen so many good combinations over the past years. You know, we've seen the BBC, Bale, Benzema, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. We've seen Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. We've seen Pedro, Messi. We've seen Pedro, Messi, and I can't remember the last person. We've seen David Villa, Messi. I can't remember the last person. We've seen Ronaldinho, Henry, and Messi. We've seen Eto'o, Ronaldinho, and Messi. We've seen so many combinations in the past that looks very, very terrific. We've seen GS Park, Cristiano, Wayne Rooney. We've seen Carlos Tevez, Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney. We see this very good and terrific combinations in the past. But Vinicius Junior, like Olayinka said in our pre-production call, it looks like a boy out of his depth, you know. Last season or a couple of seasons ago, like, oh, what's this boy doing? What's this kid doing? He's not getting it right. He's not getting it right. But something just snapped after Carlo came in. I don't know what Carlo told him. I don't know what kind of inspiration he got from it. But we saw a different animal. And to think this boy and Benzema synced, like there was a very good, a telepathic sync between both of them. And you see it over and over and over again. And don't forget last season, this was the same kid that Benzema told Mendy that, I swear on my mother, Vinicius Junior is playing against us. Don't pass to him. So what changed between last season and this season? That's a question we need to ask ourselves. And we need to direct that to Carlo Ancelotti, actually, as a matter of fact. But if you know the answer, please, I'm humble enough for you to tell me. Please, I want to know what changed. But by and large, it was not a front three per se, because Valverde, for the attacking outlet he has, quote and unquote, is more of a defensive guy helping the right back. So the owners of the attack was on Vini Jr. and Benzema. What are we going to be seeing next season? Benzema probably is going to win Waffle of the Year. Coutinho is going to be going down in his career pretty soon. He has done terrifically well for himself. He has established himself. BBC during the days of Kaká and Ronaldo, post Kaká and post Ronaldo, you know, and he's still there and doing it properly well. But now the question is, who is going to be supporting Vinicius Junior very soon at Real Madrid? And Olawale asked the question during the IG Live. He said, is this an overachievement on the part of Real Madrid? And I'm going to answer that question over again. So, I think it's an overachievement on the part of Real Madrid. This Real Madrid team has a 36-year-old guy in Modric that we know his legs are short right now. A Cruz that his contract will probably not be renewed. A Luis Vasquez that has that his contract will probably not be renewed as well. Same with Asensio that has 1 year left on his contract. A Benzema that is an aging Benzema. Wales in the team that looks that their situation is not clear right now. And we had this under Zidane. The only thing that Real Madrid did over last summer was they brought in Eduardo Camavinga. They could have waited one summer more because he had just 1 year left on his contract, but decided to buy him out, I think for 36 million pounds or 32 million pounds. Which at that point everybody were like, okay, this is just the arrogance of Real Madrid. You could have just waited 1 year, and it was not the missing link. And truth be told, it's not still the missing link. It's one for the future, not the missing link. You know what I'm saying? And I feel in situation like this, where we see what Real Madrid actually have at the start of the season, what we thought of them at the start of the season, and now, there is a gulf of difference. There's a gulf of difference between what they had and what they actually presented to themselves at the end of the season. Winning the league and the Champions League. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. They deserve it 100%. They did what they're supposed to do, and they did right. Have a very good coach as well. Had a coach that made the players felt the love that they needed. I'm not saying Zidane did not do that, but I'm just saying it made them feel the love that they needed, and they did. And they did very well. But this should not be expected next season. It probably won't be replicated for a couple of years as well, truth be told. Because for you to get a replacement for Toni Kroos, according to the statistics in the Champions League, over the past six years, Toni Kroos have not gone anywhere below 93% pass accuracy. That is something you would expect from a Xavi, a Pello. That is crazy. That's one crazy statistics. Replacing that kind of guys, when the guy you have on your bench is Ceballos and Camavinga, it's going to be difficult. Second one is going to be Modric. Replacing that guy, it was voted after 1 year in Real Madrid as the worst signing in the history of Real Madrid. And now, years after, he has won 4 Champions League for Real Madrid. I think 5. Yeah, 5 Champions League. 5 Champions League trophies. 300 Zidane, 200 Ancelotti. 5. Replacing that kind of guy is going to be difficult. Casemiro, for all the good work, he's a good defensive midfielder. Is he going to bring in any form of attacking acumen? No. It wouldn't. Not in the way that Real Madrid would want. Maybe if he goes to a team like, the second tier teams, it's going to be the Euro there and the rest, but not for a club like Real Madrid. So replacing those guys is going to be difficult. What about Benzema? Benzema is winding down. I think Benzema is 1984, so Benzema should be 35 years old this year. So Benz is winding down his career as well. So who do you have up front? Asensio, probably going to be leaving for Liverpool. Luis Vasquez as well, going to be leaving as well. That leaves you with just Vinicius Jr. So did they ever achieve 100%? Are they going to be able to replicate this in the coming season? I doubt it. If they'll be able to replicate it anytime soon as well.